We just took a drive today to go check out Croton Point Park in Westchester County.
In half a mile, arrive at your destination.
Looks like it was an old landfill, from what I can tell. Well, there's a fair amount of construction going on here, which is not uncommon for the off-season. The beach is closed completely. They got fences up all around, but it looks like the rest of the park is open. So we've got ourselves a little parking area here. That's where people are starting their walks. We'll find a nice spot. Let's see, family camping, tent, trailers, check-in at office. So that's the direction of the campground. Croton Point Campground is located in Croton Point Park on the east coast of the Hudson River, about a half an hour's drive north from New York City. There are 71 RV sites, 35 of which are typically reserved for long-term stays. Measuring 508 acres, this is the largest peninsula on the Hudson River. It includes the Croton Point Beach, a remote control aircraft field, picnic areas, playgrounds, and fields. Site number 12. It's like a water supply, electrical. Yeah, they're keeping that pipe from freezing. And that must be the sewer. The park is open all year. There is a $10 per vehicle admission fee to the park on the weekends between Memorial Day and Labor Day. This park spans over 4 miles of Hudson River shoreline and includes Haverstraw Bay, Squaw Cove, and Croton Bay. There's also a car-top boat launch that is open from April through October from 8 a.m. until dusk, which can accommodate sailboards, canoes, and car-top carried boats. You can even rent a kayak and explore the coast. At the park's interior, a capped landfill forms a large hill-covered meadow in the center of the park, with nature paths that cut through tall grasses over and around it. Dogs are allowed but must be leashed and are not allowed in the picnic areas. Okay, now cost. If you're from out of town and you need a full hookup, that's water, sewer, and electric, it'll cost you $60 per day. If you just go with water and electric, it's $55 a day. But the real bargain is you can get a full hookup for $270 for a week. And that works out to about $40 a day. That's pretty reasonable. Not a bad spot. We'll have to look into it. Here's something you don't see every day. No surprise, no dial tone. Right down there are 10 campsites available. The rate is $50 per night. Each site can accommodate several tents and many people. I know it's not going to show up on camera, but I've got a bald eagle flying right over my head right now. Passing through the sun right now. Pretty cool. There's another bird there. I can't see what it is. The basketball hoops look okay. The lines are all worn away. There's an old broken down pool. Doesn't look like they've used it for years. That's a shame. This is a relatively wealthy area. Most people have their own pools in their backyard, I guess. They don't really support something like this. Alright, we're coming into the tent camping area. Straight ahead. Well, that's campsite 1. It looks like the nicest one. This is the most private one. Those are pretty nice down there too. And this is the camping area. Mossy, lots of trees. It's nice. Fire ring and picnic table arrangement. We've been walking for a while now. We passed by a pool. Looked like there was some access for fishing. Now in front of me I'm seeing cabins. I didn't know there were cabins here. Right up there. Some more over there. We're surrounded by the Hudson River right now. Looks like we're getting close to the end. I'm surrounded by these cabins, one after another, quite a few of them. I would imagine this place must be very busy in the summertime if all these are full. Historic Croton yews. These 4 English yews, Taxus baccata, were planted by Dr. Richard Underhill in the mid-1800s when he lived here with his family. Their mansion stood nearby overlooking the Hudson River. The yews were purchased for 37 1/2 cents each from a nursery in Flushing, New York. They are now on the New York State Historic Tree Register. It's funny. I was transplanted out of Flushing, New York. Very interesting. Beautiful yews. Imagine that, 37 cents. Nice view from up here. Cornelius van Bursum was the first to purchase Croton Point from the Indians in 1682. A few years later, William and Sarah Teller were given permission to live on the point and operate an Indian trading post. In the 18th century, the area came to be known as Teller's Point. Soon after, Stephanus van Cortlandt incorporated the property into his Cortlandt Manor. By the end of the 18th century, the Tellers, who married into the Van Cortlandt family, were in full possession of Croton Point. The Van Cortlandt Manor House still stands on the Croton River, east of Croton Point Park. It is not surprising that this prominent site played a role in the American War for Independence. The most notorious was connected with the attempted betrayal of West Point by Benedict Arnold and the capture of his British Confederate, Major John Andre. Andre had conspired to meet with Arnold on board the British frigate Vulture, which had anchored off the western end of Teller Point in September of 1780. Nice little spot for fishing, hanging out down by the river. Very cool. Hi everybody. We're here at Croton Point Park, kind of jutting out into the middle of the Hudson River. I'm sitting on some driftwood. Gonna make myself a cup of tea and have my lunch. I made a couple of PB&J sandwiches. And I'm gonna eat them right here on the Hudson River. Now, way down there is the Tappan Zee Bridge. On that side of the river is like Sleepy Hollow, Tarrytown. You know, nice neighborhoods, a lot of mansions and such. So, right here is where I'm going to set up my stove. Hello. Okay, there's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich from home. A nice cup of hot tea that we just made here right on the very edge of the Hudson River at Croton Point Park. We're on a peninsula out in the middle of the Hudson River on a beautiful sunny winter day. Feels more like spring. Alright. I'm going to eat my lunch and drink my tea, and then we will get back to hiking this beautiful park. Look at all this driftwood. The RV park is up that way. Okay, quick check, make sure I'm not leaving any garbage. We got plenty already. We'll take a last look at the Hudson River here. I believe straight across there is Sing Sing Prison. When they say up the river, that's what they're talking about. It's not a nice place. This is where we had our lunch, a little PB&J sandwich. Now we gotta find that trail back to where we parked. Always amazes me looking at this. Imagine this thing was drifting around in that river. Risky business being out there. I bet this garbage can washed up with a storm and people just filled it right up. Well, I'll give them credit for at least filling up the garbage. Okay, I think our path is right over there. Yeah, here's our trail. And all kinds of wood, logs, 4x4 posts, 2x8 framing timbers. You name it. That's the train line that goes up Metro North, goes up the Hudson Valley. I saw two gentlemen bringing kayaks up this path on the way in. Not an easy path to pull a kayak up. Alright, thank you so much for coming along and exploring Croton Point Park. an RV campground. Booking is open in January for the spring and summer seasons, and many people plan ahead and make reservations very early in the year. This is such a popular destination that you are unlikely to find a campsite on short notice. The Metro North Railroad also provides service to the Croton Harmon station, approximately 1 mile away from the park entrance. Train tickets are available online. Many visitors like to camp here and take the train for excursions to New York City. Thanks so much for joining me today as we explored Croton Point Park in Westchester County, New York State. It's a beautiful place, surrounded by the Hudson River on 3 sides. It's got a pretty nice campground. Looks a little run down this time of year. Thanks for joining me, keeping me company on this trip.